Okay, quick story time. So I had someone book a facial maybe about 2 months ago. And when I got the notification, I looked at the email and I was like, I know this name from somewhere, but it just didn't hit me. But it was like, I know this person's name. It's an unusual name, it's not common, but it was, for some reason, that name just stuck in my mind as if I knew this person. So on the day of the appointment, um, the person comes in, and side note, this facial actually is done at a wellness center that I work part time. Um, she had chosen, selected me to do her facial. So, anyways, I greet her in the meeting area, and I looked at her and I was like, "Do I know you from somewhere?" And she's like, "I don't think so." And I'm like, "Your name just sounds so familiar." And she was like, "No, I mean, my name isn't common." I was like, "Yeah, that's true." So we just started talking, and I was like, "Well, have you been here before?" Because the place that she was getting the facial done was under another owner, and it was called Goddess Cove at one time. So she was like, "No, I've never been here before. I've only come here to get a massage." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "Well, have you gotten a facial in this area before?" And so she was naming of all the different places that she's gone to get facials done. And finally, she said, "Oh, yeah, and I also used to go to Ulta to get facials." And that's when the light bulb clicked. I was like, "That's her." So when I used to work at Ulta, I had literally just started. I had just retired from the military, and I was just working there part time until I can get the full time job that I'm in right now. And she was she stood out because she was the most difficult client I had ever experienced. Like, she made me nervous to the point, like, she was telling me what I needed to do in the service, and I was getting antsy and irritated, and I was like, "Oh my god, she's here for an hour, I got to get her out." So I did as much as I could without being flustered and agitated and whatnot. And as soon as she left, I like literally put down that "do not book under me anymore," because I just couldn't take it. She was like really difficult. Someone that was telling me what to do. Why didn't I do this? How come I didn't do that? Shouldn't I have left something on longer? Why is it taking me so long to do this? And I'm just like, oh my God, like, for real, I can't take it. So, funny thing is, we're in the treatment room doing the facial. We're talking up a storm as if we've been like known each other for like ever. And she was pleasantly nicer, I guess you could say, this time around. But, I didn't think nothing of it. So at the end of her facial, what I always do this for my clients, is I hand them a mirror so they can see, the results. She was like, "Oh, I don't need a mirror because I already know I look greasy." And I'm like, "Really?" I don't ever have my clients walking around looking greasy. They might glow, but they don't look greasy. So I thought about it, and like, in my mind, I laughed it off, because I was like, why am I going to get offended? Why would I get, why would I say something ignorant or, sarcastic? I didn't. I actually laughed it off, and I was like, "Ah, ha, ha, girl, you funny. You know you ain't greasy." And I walked away. I say all this to say is, sometimes people like that, you can pretty much gauge how they are. And so it's hard at times, but sometimes you have to think before you speak, because that energy did not need another negative response. It really didn't. It could have gone left. It could have gone all kinds of way. But I think at that point of time, when I gauged the situation, I didn't take offense to it. I just knew how she was. I literally was like, either she's joking or she's being serious and sarcastic. I don't know, but I wasn't going to feed into it. So if you ever run into people like that, if you know that kind of energy, it really would be helpful to just, pause, think about it as quickly as you can, and either you can just laugh it off and walk away, or you just don't dignify them with a response, because it really doesn't need that kind of energy is needed to set off the rest of your day. So just something I thought I'd put out there, and food for thought.